Hey going guys, this is Castle Forge. A couple of weeks ago I went to my first card show here in South Australia and yeah, this is just a vlog to see how it went and how many cards I was able to get. So Sunday morning I drove down to the Adelaide showgrounds and yeah, the queue was already really long, so it was going to be popular. Probably the best thing about these card shows is just talking to people in line. Like everybody's there because they love, you know, their cards, they love collecting. So you can just ask, like, are you buying or selling today? What hits have you got? And yeah, it's pretty cool conversations. So in terms of chase cards, I'm probably looking for Charizards, right? I like Charizard, he's one of my favorites. So anything that's Charizard is pretty cool. But if I'm being specific, the one card I really need is the 151 Venusaur Special Illustration Rare. Is the biggest chase card I've got left for the 151. I also need others such as the Mew EX, the Zapdos EX. If I could get all of them and complete my set, it'd be absolutely awesome. But if I'm really there to focus, it's the Venusaur I want. It was here that I bought my first card as well, the Charizard EX from Obsidian Flames. And it had $84 on the back, just there in the slip. And I just asked, how much is this card? And when he said $60, I was like, yeah, so I pulled the trigger on that one before he could read his own tags. But yeah, that was a great first pickup and then I moved on. I also brought with me a binder of cards to sell to try and make it a cost neutral kind of trip. So I went around to a bunch of vendors and asked, are you buying? And they all said, it's too busy right now, come back later, we'll buy at the end of the day. And so I just walking around with a binder full of cards that I couldn't sell. So I went to the trade zone instead. The trade zone was full of people just showing off their collections and asking each other, what have you got, what would you like, and ended up meeting a pretty solid dude with an awesome collection.
Oh, you got the Moonbryon, that's sweet.
Is this?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, okay, I can see now. Why you're so chill. Yeah, that's awesome.
Just casually flexing.
That's awesome.
I love those goatees.
YouTube is the nicest thing.
Yeah.
I like the armor music.
After we flipped through each other's collections, and he had a much better one than mine. He did take a liking to my Radiant Mew, and that is one that I wanted to sell on, so I figured, let's do a trade. I ended up trading for this Leafeon. Leafeon is my favorite evolution, and this Crown Zenith one is excellent. I love the artwork, I love the texture, so yeah, easy trade for me to make. And they were about the same value, so that worked out well. Some of the vendors were actually kids, and I'm pretty sure I watched a kid get scammed. This guy was working on this kid for quite a while to get a favorable deal. So I finally found a vendor willing to buy. Mayhem Collectibles were very enthusiastic and excellent to deal with. They gave me a fair pricing, I thought. We ended up selling a few cards to them, mostly the Mew Radiant. I had a couple of them, and my 151 doubles, but probably the biggest two were the Gold Reshiram and Silver Dialga. I was happy to trade these cards in because I just didn't have any feelings or emotion towards them. I liked them as cards, but they weren't what I wanted. So I figured I would trade them in and get the cards I actually want.
Awesome.
So from Mayhem, I picked up the Charizard VMAX, Misty Starmie, and a Pikachu from Crown Zenith just because I like it. I also ended up walking away with some cash in my pocket as well. So walking away with about $300-400 in my wallet, I did think, let's go get some booster packs. So I swung by a store that I first earlier, Twilight Masquerade. That's what I'm trying to complete, so I think
We're holding up for someone.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's very expensive.
Some of the vendors are really high, and then some others are just reasonable. Yeah. So you come back for the reasonable ones.
Yeah. I was like, 150, that's nuts.
They're hard to find these days.
So 320 for that one?
Yes.
Right. Oh, it's hard to find Twilight Masquerade, and I'm trying to get the master set, so it's hard. Yeah, we've got the bubble wrap, yeah.
Same.
As long as that one's got the Great Ninja in it, that's all right.
I got a phone call from a mate to say he found a card I was looking for. It was the 151 Mew. That left only 3 or 4 cards left in for my 151 master set. So definitely a big win there, and that's why you always bring friends to card shows. So it was getting a bit late, and I figured let's go to at least one more stall and see if I can find this Venusaur, because every stall holder I went to said they had already sold one, or they didn't have one at all.
Okay, so it finally happened. I got the card I wanted, 150 bucks, so on market, but just finding it was a pain. So absolutely pumped.
So shout out to the Trainer Hub for having a Venusaur available. He actually had it in a binder he'd forgotten about. He called it his spicy binder, and just completely forgot about it in the rush. And then he goes, oh, I'll check this binder, pulls it out. He had 2, bought 1. Gonna be awesome. I'm so absolutely chuffed with that. And at the end of the day, I still had just a little bit more cash in my pocket. So I bought a Surging Sparks ETB and went on the hunt for a couple of cheap cards before I left.
It's not a bad haul today. Pretty happy with it.
So one of the biggest trades I made that day wasn't at the card show, it was actually with my mate. He needed the Charmander and the War Turtle from 151 full arts. I had duplicates, so we went through each other's collections and we found some cards. So I passed on those 2 full arts for these 2 Charizards, and I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty happy with that. He also gave me a bunch of smaller cards that were pretty fun. I got a Lugia and stuff like that, but I was more than happy with that trade. He was happy with the trade. He was close to his 151 master set, and yeah, it's fun. This is why we do it, guys. This is it's the community around the cards as well as the trading aspect. It really brought me back to when I was a kid in the schoolyard trading cards. So that was a lot of fun. So that's it, guys. That was my first card show, and yeah, I walked away with almost as much money as I walked in with, which is amazing. I did buy some stock, I did get some trades, and I found the one card that I was really looking for, and then walked away with a bunch of Charizards. So very, very happy with how the day went. But what do you guys want? Do you guys like this? Like and subscribe, so I know you kind of like this kind of content. If you want me to go to more card shows or just try to see me kind of collect sets, just say so in the comments, and I'll see what I can do. So thanks for coming by, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm such a small channel that, yeah, this, like a like and a subscribe goes such a long way. So thank you for your support.